Hey guys, welcome back to Countdown to the Castle. My name's Joey. Here's my beautiful wife and co-host, Marissa.
Hey guys.
So in today's episode, we're going to be doing a recap of our past trip we just took. But before we get into it, Marissa got some news for us.
I do. We have a good bit of news this week, and I'm not going to say all of it's good news. We'll start with the bad news first, or what I would consider to be bad news, and then we'll kind of move into the good news to leave it on a good note.
That's
so
right.
Starting out strong for the bad news that I have this week is we do finally have a date for when a part of Dinoland is going to be closing. If you don't know, they're retheming it to the Tropical Americas.
That's right.
And this was part of D23 announcements and things like that. So we knew that it was going. We just weren't sure. Actually, they had announced in the fall. So if anything, this is actually borderline good news if we think silver linings. So Triceratops Spin, Fossil Fun Games, and Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures will close on January 12th, 2025.
Nice.
So they gave us a little bit of time. They're giving us Christmas in Dinoland again, which I can appreciate.
As long as Dinosaur's not shut down yet, I'm good.
Yeah, because we have a trip in December. You'll get to ride it. I was a little afraid that on our this October trip that we're going to be talking about, this would be the last opportunity we got, and we didn't go to Animal Kingdom. So I'm glad to see that they're waiting kind of until the end of the year, beginning of the new one.
That's right.
So that's the start of that bad news. The second piece of bad news is that Big Thunder Mountain Railroad will close for a very long, year-long refurbishment.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's the most heartbreaking piece of news.
That one is still, like, we knew Dinoland was coming, and I knew that, like, beyond Big Thunder, but, like, I think this is just refurb for Big Thunder, and this is
I don't understand how it can take a year if it's just refurb.
I think it's just refurb. Like, they haven't, like, said anything else about it, really.
That's insane.
But this is going to be closing on January 6th, 2025, so January is going to be a tough month for Disney goers.
Yeah.
So now onto the good news that I want to share. First, that Epic Universe. So if you don't know, Universal is coming with a third theme park. And this one's going to be quite literally epic. And they had talked about being open sometime in 2025. We weren't exactly sure when. We were thinking they were going to be trending sooner rather than later. And according to the Wall Street Journal, I mean, I don't know how much... they're credible, but like, it's just interesting to me that that's kind of where we're getting the information. But they're thinking that Epic Universe may finally be able to open Memorial Weekend of 2025.
That's crazy.
So that's like May of 2025.
I know. I'm super excited. If that happens, oh my gosh.
That'll be really, really exciting. It'll be really hot at that time in May, so we may not be there.
No, I'll be there.
But I'm super excited. Why don't we? I just thought about this. We should add that to our December trip. Well, we'll talk about it, but we definitely got to make it down to Epic Universe when it opens. But yeah, so that's a really good piece of news. That's definitely sooner rather than later. And the last piece of the good news is that Disney is thinking Christmas. And just that alone is good news. But specifically, they kind of have... release a bit of their entertainment that's going to be coming to Disney, Walt Disney World, for this festive season. And a few things are new. So all of these entertainment things are going to be, at least in Hollywood Studios, starting November 12th. So it's a little bit later than when they'll be decorating for Christmas. But the entertainment's November 12th. And some of the new entertainment is Juggling Elves.
Nice.
So
where's that?
These three are going to be in Hollywood Studios, so it'll be interesting. So the Juggling Elves, we have a holiday spirit band. So they say this is a brass group they'll be doing like Santa songs, like Christmas classic songs. I guess I have no idea.
Be cool.
But sounds interesting. We love live entertainment, especially for Christmas.
That's right.
Just like Streetmosphere is specifically what I really enjoy. And the last thing is a marching band called Seasons Jukebox. So I think this will be really fun. There'll be
a good old marching band. Yeah,
horns, drummers, dancers to everyone's favorite holiday classics and more. And then obviously in Hollywood Studios you have your classic holiday overlays for like Frozen, Sing Along, and all things like that. The Tower of Terror will have like the season's greeting on the Tower of Terror, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, that was a good, fun piece of news.
It's a lot of news to unpack.
It is a lot of news, yeah. So
I'm really sad about Big Thunder, though.
Yeah, that one,
honestly, the whole time I was
took me surprised a little bit. I I don't know. Hopefully this means that they're taking some steps in the right direction towards, like, because back there is going to be where Villain's Land is, beyond Big Thunder. Maybe they're starting to take steps towards that, and they're just trying to keep it on the DL.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know.
So,
maybe they're putting walls up back there.
Yeah. But it should be fruitful. Oh, I hope this isn't closed on the railroad. I don't know. I don't know. We rode it this past trip, and we'll get into it, because I wasn't sure if it would close soon. So we wanted to make sure to get it in there. But, all right. Well, let's just start it out.
All right. So first, how long did we go?
Oh, gosh. So it's actually longer than we were supposed to be going.
This was supposed to be a budget friendly.
This was supposed to be
which it still was.
Yeah, it was.
In a way.
No, it was, because what we did was originally it was going to be like 3 parks and kind of like come back home.
We're supposed to go for like 3 days.
Yeah, like 3 days. But I have like the semester I'm in school, for this week, I was able to like have virtual classes. And so I was like, we have to like monopolize on that, because finals and stuff are coming up, and it's just going to be a really stressful end of the semester. So I was like, why don't we just take this opportunity, go and stay off property. We don't even have to go to the parks.
That's right.
And I'm sharing with you our pre-trip report, what we thought was going to happen. So we thought we were just going to go down, stay off property for the beginning 3 days of the week, and just like enjoy Disney property, and then start our like park days on Disney property. But
instead, so no,
we'll go chronological.
We'll start in order. So we had 3 days off property and 4 days on property.
Yes.
So let's get into where we stayed. How about that?
Yeah.
So this is
Marissa
one of a kind.
Classic.
Yeah, this is definitely Marissa Classic. She does not get to book things from here on out. I've actually said it in the past, but I haven't lived up to it.
Yeah, your whole family like makes fun of me.
Yeah,
because of these decisions I make.
Yeah, she's bad when it comes to booking stuff. So
because I'm cheap.
She found an off property, and it is the Ramada. I don't know if anyone stayed in the Ramada. No hate. There's a little bit of hate, but
it turned out to be fine.
It did the job.
It turned out to be fine. It did the job. However, when we pulled up, and mind you, we left after Joey got off of work in the evening, and it was late evening that we got on the road, so we didn't get to the hotel until like 2 a.m. And so like already we're adding to like the sketch level here, and it wasn't advertised from what I saw. I didn't dig enough as a motel. It was advertised as like a hotel. It was indeed.
It's part
both,
hotel, part motel.
But yeah, we were a little nervous about that one.
So we get there. We get in the lobby. It's like, if I had to like describe this lobby, I felt like I was kind of like in Vegas, like a bootlegged Vegas hotel lobby.
Literally.
It was kind of weird. But we checked in, got into the room. Everything was fine. It did the job.
Like Taylor Swift and like random like pop. It was like a pop radio station was on like blast in the hotel lobbies.
Yeah, so we did that. That was just our first night. We got there, went to sleep.
Yeah.
Next night, we're still off property, but we decided, hey, let's go to Topolino's Terrace.
Yeah, next day we woke up and went to, well, the whole thought behind this was doing like breakfast on these days that we were off property, because we were like, if we get a breakfast reservation, we can drive over there, park, and then kind of like leave our car there and be on Disney property for the day. And it worked this day. This first day we went to Topolino's Terrace. We checked into the Riviera, or like, I wish. We went to the Riviera, parked, and that was amazing. It was so easy.
Yeah, for sure. So we ate at Topolino's. It was a great view. Love Topolino's. They put us at the best seat in the house.
Yeah, they literally were walking us through, and they were like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like such an amazing seat, because it's like basically all windows near us, and like there's nobody to like two sides of us.
Yeah,
and
it was a table of two.
Yeah, and it was just amazing. As far as like the review for Topolino's Terrace, breakfast, this is a character breakfast. I loved it.
Yeah,
this has been,
she did. She ate that one up.
I was enjoying it so much. I enjoyed being at the Riviera. I enjoyed the character interactions. It was so much fun. It's Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy. Those are like 4 of my favorite characters.
You had all your Daisy get up on.
Yeah, I had like my Daisy little bag, and so like that was a fun like conversation point. And like I don't know how comfortable you're getting with talking to characters.
I'm just not comfortable.
I'm getting there.
I don't know how to act.
You really just ride my wave, you know what I'm saying?
I'm like, yeah.
But so it's like we had such a great time with them, and like they're in like their get ups of like Riviera, so like they're in like either sculptor, artist, writer, things like that. So it's really fun to interact with them. The food, we each got the steak and eggs. They come out with pastries beforehand.
Oh yeah, that was the bomb.com.
It was so good.
Real.
They had pog juice. So it was just really good. The food was really good. The character interactions were amazing. The views were great. And we just like the parking was just kind of like off to the side. It wasn't that far, and like it wasn't like supervised a lot. So we just kept our car there the whole day.
Yeah, we literally kept our car there. Fair warning, it is kind of pricey. So
yeah, that's a good thing to mention.
I forgot exactly how much it was, but it was close
to
like $100.
It was like $45 a person.
Yeah.
And then you can obviously add, like, we didn't add like drinks or anything. Like everything we had came within the meal, and we had a good bit. Like the steak and eggs came with 2 sides. I ended up getting like a little mini waffle with like orange whipped cream and like orange syrup. Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Yeah, that waffle was really good.
So but yeah, it's pricey.
Another thing about Topolino's, if you're not trying to eat there but you want to see it, you can still go up there. There's a whole balcony up there, so just ride the elevator to the 10th floor, just go straight to the back, and you can just go chill on the balcony if you want, and then you can still see the characters inside. Just a little tip. But after that, we decided, hey, let's just get on the Skyliner and just go ride around. So now I'm telling you, this day was full of travel. We did every form of transportation Disney has to offer.
It was so fun.
So we took the Skyliner. We said, let's go to Caribbean Beach. We'll ride over to Pop and Art of Animation. So we went to Pop and Art of Animation. Kind of just chilled over there.
Yeah,
looked
we
at
got
the shops.
off Caribbean Beach because we hadn't gone there before. And so we walked around Caribbean Beach. We like went to the hammocks, got really sandy. And and I will mention, with this trip, it was much hotter than we
anticipated
thought it was going to be. Yeah. And so when we were walking around this first day, it was kind of like, like this is going to be how it's going to be. So like walk around Caribbean Beach and stuff like that. It was tough. Like it was tough for me.
Oh yeah.
To like walk around and like, but I tried to enjoy it as much as possible. And we kind of learned as the trip goes on how to manage that heat really well. But the first few days were tough in terms of weather. But yeah, so you're right.
So after we were done with Pop and like Art and Caribbean, we got back on the Skyliner. We hit up Epcot. Well, we didn't hit up Epcot. We rode to Epcot.
Yep.
And then we were like, let's go to the boardwalk.
We went to the side entrance,
yeah. I've never seen the boardwalk, so but Marissa has. So actually, we got on the friendship boats because we were like, why not? And then we actually ended up taking that boat to Disney Springs.
Yeah, so we took the friendship boat over to like boardwalk and everything. And then that boat, how did we get to Port Orleans?
Port Orleans, I think we bus rode over there.
Maybe we took a bus over to Port Orleans, and then from Port Orleans, we had some beignets. We got the ghoulish beignets, and that's the cookies and cream, marshmallow cream. Oh my gosh, so good.
That's probably the best dessert I had on that trip.
What'd you think?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. They're so warm and soft. And
they were
had
great.
Like a nice crisp on the edge. It was phenomenal.
It was wonderful. If you would I in Magic Kingdom saw some people getting the Tiana's beignets over at like the Outpost, and those didn't look nearly as good and like full as the ones at Port Orleans are. So I was really happy with our decision to go ahead and get those. But yeah, we like walked around for just a minute at Port Orleans, and then yeah, you're right. We got on the boats. And they have a transportation to Disney Springs from the boats. So,
you know what we did do? We got on the friendship boats at Epcot. We, hit up all the stops on that line. Got off at Hollywood Studios.
Oh my gosh!
And
guys,
then we bus ride over to Port Orleans. Got our beignets. Chilled over there for a little bit. Hopped on the friendship boat over there
to Disney Springs.
Rode over to Disney Springs. So then we were like, well, we're probably just going to use the rest of our day at Disney Springs, just kind of chill, relax. So we went and got a drink at Boathouse, the little over-the-water bar that they have there. It's pretty cool.
It was really good.
You got your little rubber ducky drink.
Yeah, I wasn't like, we're not like the biggest, I don't know, this trip we weren't in the drinking mood.
No.
And so I got a drink, and it was not like, taste-wise, it was pretty sweet.
It's like a really sweet Powerade.
Yeah. So, but it was cute. It was really fun to be out on the water. Really great vibes. We didn't get anything to eat, but yeah, we did Boathouse.
Yeah, for sure. So then we went speaking of eating, we went to Homecoming for lunch.
We did. Yeah, this was something that I had been anticipating. If you like look at reservations on the My Disney Experience app, Homecoming is always such a hard reservation to get for like dinner or anything. And so I was thinking to myself, I was like, I knew there was a bar. Turns out the bar was outside, and I was like, I literally can't eat fried chicken out in this heat.
Yeah.
So we went inside, and I was like, surely we're not going to get a table. And Joey was like, come on, like, let's just go try.
Yeah.
And they got us a whole table in the dining room.
It was dead in there.
Booth. It was literally dead. So if you're ever wondering how you can get in there, just go for lunchtime, because it worked out really well for us.
Yeah, so Marissa there, she got the chicken biscuits.
The knee-high chicken. It was an appetizer, actually.
Yeah. Those were super good.
They were really good. I would say they're really hyped up. Like, if you think of Chef Art Smith's, like, you're probably thinking of the biscuits. The biscuits themselves that day were a little dry. They were just a teeny bit dry. And the chicken itself, it's chicken thigh. Me, as a picky eater, I don't gravitate towards chicken thigh. I usually want like a chicken breast, like white meat. So it freaked me out just a little bit. But what you got was very good.
I got a grilled chicken sandwich with mac and cheese.
The mac and cheese was crazy.
I mean, it's just a grilled chicken sandwich, a normal grilled chicken sandwich, but it was really good. It tasted really good.
It was
And
good.
the mac and cheese was thebomb.com.
So cheesy.
I don't think it was the best mac and cheese
I think
I've
it was
ever
literally
eaten.
just the topping. It was just so cheesy.
Yeah, it was super cheesy.
That, like, it made it good. Like, that's what made it good.
So, moving on.
Yes.
This is where it gets interesting,
Yeah,
okay?
so
Because we were like,
crazy.
we got done at Homecoming, and we just sat outside, right outside of Homecoming on a chair.
Some rocking chairs.
And we were like, dang, dude, like, we've done a lot today. We got a whole nother day of this. Like, what are we going to do to fill our time?
The original plan for the second day was going to be go to Grand Floridian Cafe for breakfast, park our car, and do the monorail resorts, and then maybe go to the boardwalk.
So
Did that happen, Joey?
yeah, no, we'll get into that one. But yeah, we're sitting outside of Homecoming. We're like, what do we do? And we're like, us being as impulsive as we are, we're like, why don't we just buy another 4-day ticket? I mean, another ticket, not another 4-day ticket.
Like, extend our 3-day park ticket to a 4-day park
So instead of 3, let's get 4. And we talked about it for quite some time. It was probably an hour.
Yeah, we did a ton of math.
Yeah, just trying to figure out the bank account situation. So we ended up going to guest relations, and we got an extra park day.
Yeah.
So our 3-day park turned into a 4-day park. So that was phenomenal.
Yes.
So now we're just kind of on like a little high right now. Like, cool, we got a park day tomorrow.
Yeah.
We about to just be chilling, you know? So we were like, let's leave Disney Springs. So
yeah, we got other things to do now that we know that we're filling our day with the park tomorrow.
The next day was supposed to be the monorail and stuff like that, and go see other resorts. So we left Disney Springs because we were like, we got to get it in now. So we went to Wilderness Lodge, chilled over there for a little bit.
That was great. That was really great.
Yeah.
We didn't do much, but
it was a good vibe, just chilling there, just relaxing. We were standing next to the geysers and everything. So then we hopped on another friendship boat from Wilderness Lodge to Magic Kingdom. And from Magic Kingdom, we took the monorail to each monorail resort and just kind of hung out and vibed out at each of those resorts.
Got a little Dole Whip at Polynesian.
Got the Dole Whip. We tried to do Trader Sam's, but it was like a 3-hour wait.
Yeah,
so we kind of just went in. Again, I've never seen it, so Marissa wanted me to see it. So we just walked in. Really cool, actually. But yeah, that was kind of it for day 1.
Yeah, day 1 was packed full. It was such a fun day. You know, your first like boots on the ground day in Disney on Disney property is so much fun and like so full of like anticipation. So that was a really, really great day. Tons of movement. Like we were fresh. Our feet were fresh. So that one was that was a great day. But yeah, we left from the Polynesian, went back to our resort or our hotel. Let me not say resort. Although they'd probably call it a resort because there was a restaurant there. But
there was a resort fee, so
yeah.
Oh, speaking of the Ramada, I'm just gonna point this out for anybody that needs to save money. We definitely got because we paid the original price of the room, but when we got there, they're like, yeah, there's a resort fee of $150 and some other kind of fee that was included in that $150, and they're like, but you only get back $40 when you check out. So just fair warning if anyone goes to Ramada.
Yeah. So next day, we were kind of deciding how are we going to use our 4 days. we weren't sure because we really wanted to go to Magic Kingdom, this first day, but we wanted to go to Magic Kingdom again. I don't know. I don't know what we were, because we didn't go to Magic Kingdom on our last Disney trip.
Yeah.
So we were really missing out on Magic Kingdom. And so we were like, we worked it out to where we chose Magic Kingdom days that were not on party days, which meant we kind of moved around our studios and Epcot days to fit that, which meant we went to Epcot first.
Should have did it the opposite way.
We should have done it the other way but
it still worked out.
In terms of Magic Kingdom on a
party day,
just because the wait times were a little crazy when we went. But at the time, we just wanted to make sure that we get the time-wise. We didn't want to just leave at 6. These were like late days too, like 10, 11. But anyway, so this first park day ended up being Epcot. So we were still off property.
Boy, we got this day.
We got again, guys.
We got again.
So, and this is just a testament to why it's so worth money, money to stay on property. At least out on value, because what we thought is we were going to do the same thing that we did at Topolino's.
Yeah, with mission success over there.
Yeah, it was great. So we had a reservation for Grand Floridian Cafe. We were like, sure, we'll keep it. We can monorail over to TTC or whatever.
And go into the Epcot.
Yeah, whatever. So we were like, okay. So we get to Grand Floridian, we drive to Cafe. We have breakfast. But as we're going to park, and I'll say, Barking's far, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You dropped me off.
Probably a quarter-mile walk from the parking that you go to the restaurant.
Which is, for such, almost the nicest resort on property. They're making resort guests park over there.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy, but whatever. I was like, fine. They don't want to see.
Yeah, you go back off the property to park for the Grand Floridian. It's not even on the Grand Floridian's property.
Right. So, yeah, we pulled in, and they gave us a paper to put on our dashboard.
Funny thing is, I was just going through. I was like, all right, cool, my piece of paper. I start driving. Marissa's like, that thing says 3 hours or something like that. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, we can only be here for 3 hours. And we're like, oh, my gosh.
And because we were trying to, allocate the money that we spent on this extra ticket to, we were like, maybe we shouldn't do a sit-down breakfast. Maybe we should just get some quick service or something, because Grand Floridian Cafe, it wasn't the most expensive breakfast, and we'll talk about it. And it ended up being worth it. Well, but for the food and experience, it was worth it. But for what we wanted, it wasn't. But so yeah, we kind of were at the end of it. We had to go and pay parking for Epcot. Turned out to be okay though, because it was actually not terrible parking at Epcot. We got to kind of control. We didn't have to wait for the buses. Driving out of Epcot was easy.
We were one of the first 10 rows.
Yeah,
for the
it
Epcot
was fine.
Parking. It wasn't bad at all.
But for Grand Floridian Cafe, let's talk about our experience there. The food, was it worth it? Overall, I would say yes, it was worth it.
You think it was worth it?
I don't know. I think the food
I forgot. Was that by meal the price?
It was.
That
it was
person?
per entree.
Okay.
It's not the per person. And I got the chicken and waffles. It was very good. The chicken and waffles was large portion, quality stuff. The vibe of the Grand Floridian Cafe.
That's what I'm saying. It's not very themed. I mean, it is themed because it's a very
Victorian.
Yeah, Victorian style dining room area, but there's really nothing more to it.
It wasn't. And
there wasn't a lot of people there
and
at
we
all.
couldn't see out of the window because of the weather. So it was I couldn't even tell I was in the Grand Floridian Cafe or the Grand Floridian.
It was we just went to a nice, dining room for breakfast. But I ended up getting just the Grand Floridian breakfast, which is just your everyday traditional breakfast with your eggs, whatever meat you want on the plate, and I forgot what else I had, I don't know, a biscuit maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, was it worth it? No.
You're kind of,
if I got to stay there and park my vehicle or keep my vehicle there, sure. But since then, no.
Yeah,
I'm not just going
out
back.
of our way to drive there,
there's different options.
It wasn't worth it, but the food was good. The food was good. The service was all right, and so
no.
All right. So from there, take it away.
So from there, we took our vehicle, like we just said, and we drove over to Epcot and paid for parking.
Yeah.
We didn't really park too far, so it was fine. Whatever. Just chalk that one up as an L.
Which also meant we couldn't rope drop from the Friendship Gate.
Yeah.
We had to rope drop from the front of the park, which we don't normally do. We usually go on the side entrance, hit Remy's, and then go to Lay Hall. We've already had breakfast, so that one was already gone. And we ended up rope dropping Remy. But
yeah. So we get to Epcot, stop at our Joffrey stand in front of the Epcot entrance, got our little coffees. That was our first Joffrey's of the trip. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Then we didn't run, but we sped walk over to Remy's.
Yes.
And the line wasn't super long. I think we waited I think it was a 45-minute wait, but we only waited like 20 minutes.
It really wasn't bad at all. That queue, it was outside, but only like half of the switchbacks were filled, and it went by really fast. Like that was and we had our Joffreys. I always recommend, if it's a long line, grab a snack, grab a drink, and go wait in line, because it really did make the time go by way fast.
Oh,
It was so worth it. That
and
one
it's
was
in the
so
morning.
worth
It's
it.
not too hot, so it's like, why not? We'll just wait in the line.
Exactly.
But yeah, after that, I'm pretty sure I got a Guardians virtual queue. So I went and did Guardians, had a great time on there. And
Which
then
song did you get?
what did I say I got?
I think you got the one that like everybody always forgets is, it's not Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
There's Conga.
September, Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Everyone Wants to Rule
And
the
then,
World.
oh my gosh, what is the last one? Because that's the one you got.
I did not like it.
Yeah, you said that it like almost like
It was like kind of just like
made the ride not fun.
I was just sitting there with like a straight face almost, like
Oh, Disco Inferno.
Disco Inferno, yeah. And then I forgot the other time I went on it on.
You did it again.
Yeah. And there was some other bad song. I forgot what it was. It might have been Conga. But I don't think it was Conga, because Conga's upbeat.
Conga's fun. I think Conga would be the best one to go on there for. But yeah, so you did Guardians. And while you were doing Guardians, I decided to start our food and wine journey. And so over near where Test Track is, which is kind of close to Guardians, was the Fry Basket. So I got a fry flight.
Yum.
And I would say, looking back on everything that we got, this was my favorite thing from the festival that we got.
That's funny.
Yeah, well,
Us, a fry flight.
I honestly kind of expected that. I was really excited for the fry flight. It had garlic parmesan, barbecue, which was my favorite. That was a sleeper. I was not expecting to like that as much.
And
it
then
had like
the
bacon,
sweet potato one.
and then the sweet potato fries, which were good at first. I don't like sweet potato fries.
I love them. That was so good. The sweet potato fries are probably my favorite.
So we went to the Odyssey, found a seat in the AC, and ate that. And from there, we just started our journey around the World Showcase.
Yeah, we were chilling today. We were just kind of just vibing out.
It was yeah, because I feel like the morning sets our day up so much. Like if we're like, I don't know, y'all know the TikTok song where it's "Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na," and I'm spinning like a ballerina.
Oh yeah.
Like we were ballerina this morning, whereas like some mornings when we're like rope dropping Remy's, going for, doing all that.
Well, we've come to realize that like Epcot is like pretty easy to do.
It is.
Honestly.
It is pretty easy.
If you just
to do.
time your stuff right, you can get.
We
Epcot
did not
done.
have multipass or individual
I will
lightning lanes.
say, the biggest L of this whole trip.
Yeah.
We did not get on Frozen.
That was my bad.
We did not. She said, "Well, just wait."
Well, because we knew that Epcot we would be able to get done because we're here all day. So we were like, let's just take our time, enjoy our morning. And morning times are my favorite times in the parks. I love going slow in the morning. And I'm married to the literal opposite. But anyway, we rope dropped Remy's, and like Frozen was at like a 30.
Yeah.
And I was
that was
like,
the perfect time to hit it.
I was like, it's okay. I don't mind waiting an hour in it later because it's gonna be fine. And I don't even know what happened, but it didn't happen for us.
It was like 90 minutes long by the time we got back over there.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
And then it shut down, and it got
that's
even
what
longer.
It was. Yeah.
And then,
so if you see it, just go ahead and do it.
if you listen to our last episode, the plague of our lives, the cheerleading squad walked in front of us, and there was about 200 of them just standing in line.
Like literally right at the end of the Frozen line, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just not gonna do that. But yeah, we just kind of finished up. We went around the world, got a bunch of snacks. Didn't get too adventurous.
Well, the thing with the food and wine, I was so excited for food and wine because the festival of the Flower and Garden Festival was a lot of plant-based stuff that isn't bad, but isn't what we typically eat. And the Festival of the Holidays was good, but like I feel like it's more about like the live performers and stuff. That one, and this one's about the food, like a lot of food that I would eat and stuff. But I don't know if it was just that it was so hot that I didn't want to eat a lot, or that honestly, like not a ton of stuff did strike my fancy. Yeah. I don't know. It just wasn't that impressive to me.
We ate some pizza at the pizza window.
We ate some pizza at the pizza window in Italy. Wasn't that great?
Yeah, no. It's not the same pizza, by the way.
No, in
That's
Napoli.
on the inside. It's not at all the same pizza. This is like some Chuck E. Cheese style pizza.
Yeah, so some notable things, good and bad, that we had from Food and Wine is everybody talks about the raclette. And this is like the raclette cheese over like the ham and like the baguette with the potatoes. It was not good.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
It wasn't good. The ham was literal, like not even boar's, although boar's head is going through its own thing.
No, this came in the package. Like
it was like still wet from like the plastic. Like it was just gross. The ham was gross. I didn't want to eat it. The cheese hardened and like got gloopy real quick. And then the potato, like it just wasn't good. Like it literally just the bread was like almost stale.
Yeah. I did not like that.
That one was
I was
really
like, just
bad.
make a sandwich. Why are we it's a deconstructed sandwich that
literally.
like is like not even good.
Like yeah, and I can't even blame the heat on that one. Like that one was literally just not good. Some other things that we got the bacon and cheese soup from Canada.
That's pretty good.
It's a pretty small portion, I would say, on that one. They like filled up a small bowl like halfway, and it came with a pretzel roll that to me was very dry and like
it was
not
good though.
But it was good. Like the soup was good. And then some of the non-festival stuff, I feel like we did a lot of stuff that is permanently there at Epcot this trip, which was fun to like get to do that. We got the Viking coffee, the frozen.
That was
Viking
good.
So good. Probably the best thing we had.
Probably gonna always get that now.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah.
We split it, and that one was really good. Yeah, you're talking about like what happened in there.
Oh no! Golly, that was awkward. We can't even talk about it.
It was just an awkward interaction with like the cast members, and it was like
the cast member actually was like getting mad at us for we didn't even know why, but
I guess we
you know what
we
will talk about it because we got up to the counter and the girl took our order at the counter and she was like, y'all just go right over to the checkout over there and she'll get you settled over there. So we go to the checkout because no one's there. And so we get to the checkout, and then she's like, "They just skipped the line," and I was like,
"I don't even see a
line." I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like we got told to come over here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then she's like, then we got into like how we wanted a certain coffee, and she thought it was something else, and we were like, "No, it's this coffee." It was a long story. She was not happy with us.
Yeah, like I didn't even know what was going on.
We were actually super innocent, and I'd like to believe that she was too, but but it was really awkward.
We got out and Joey was like, "Do you not like understand what happened?" And I was like, "No." She just like, I mean, was like a little confused on our order, but like I don't even know. And he was like, "Yeah," like she was like calling us like great, like
yeah.
So I was like, no,
she definitely called us out for cutting the line. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't even know there was a line.
Anyway, the coffee was well worth any awkward interactions that we had. After that, we just finished. We honestly kind of quickly did the showcase. We just kind of like kept walking.
It was quick.
We were just full and it was hot and we were like, the food is just not what I want right now.
Then we just finished up Epcot with some rides. We rode Nemo. Loved me some Nemo. We rode Soarin'. Good ride.
Twice, I think, actually, that day.
We did ride it twice that day.
That was fantastic.
Oh,
well, because we like got the. This is another funny interaction. We waited because it was a pretty short line, and we were like, "Can we please get row B, like seat whatever, concourse B, because that's supposed to be like the middle and like everything's perfect." And like we get up to where he puts us in rows, and I was like, "Can we please get B2?" And he was like, "Sure, I guess," even though that's not the best one.
He's like, "That's not the best row, but okay." And I was like, I don't know. We just kind of looked it up.
I was like, "What do you think?" He was like, "B1." I was like, "Okay, can we go to B1?" And he was like, sure. He was like, "Sure," even though that's not the best one. And it wasn't the best one. I feel like B2 probably would have been better.
Yeah, B2 would have been better for sure.
I think any seat you're in, the Eiffel Tower is still going to be a little wonky. But yeah, all that to say, we kind of finished out the rides at Epcot. We didn't stay. Did we like ride rides through Luminous or like what happened there?
I think we got no. So I got another Guardians. I got
How
another.
did that even happen?
Yep, I don't know how. I did get another Guardians because I remember you went to Connections, or you were sitting in between Connections.
Oh yeah.
And the shop right there, and then I think we left from there and did Spaceship Earth, maybe.
No,
one more time.
You did Mission Space.
I kind of hyped myself up to do Mission Space.
Orange.
That was crazy, honestly. Like, I forget how crazy the G-force is on that ride. Like, I'm fine. Like, I won't get sick, but, like, it is uncomfortable.
It was also, like, because I, like, went through the line with him. And, first of all, before you even get into the queue, there's, like, 2 massive plaques that are, like, all these warnings, like, do not ride. And, like, not just your normal, like, if you're pregnant, like, literally anything that
it's
you
like,
have.
Yeah, we highly suggest you just don't ride this ride.
Yeah, and then they repeated this like 3 different times, and I was like, bro, even if I wanted to ride it, I wouldn't by the time you're done talking to me.
Dude, that ride is it's intense. It's really intense, but I can do it now. I know I've done it in the past, but I just hadn't done it in so long, so I was kind of like working myself up, and I was kind of scared, but we did it. It was fun. I'll probably always do it now because it's just a cool experience.
Yep.
Wish they'd updated a little bit, like the screen, make it more immersive, make me actually be, when I click the button it actually does something. Yeah.
A classic move on Disney. Yeah.
But yeah, after that we just left. We didn't even
did.
watch Luminous. We just left, went back to the resort,
or the hotel.
Yeah, the hotel. And then we got to actually pack all our stuff up. So we got all our stuff packed up, and then the next day we checked in to All Star Sports.
And we just put out an episode. This past week's episode was all things All-Stars, because this has rounded our trip out, or rounded out our stays at all of the All-Stars. And so we had to put out an episode this past week talking about pros, cons, if it's worth it, things like that, all about All-Stars. So, but yeah, we got to check in finally, which meant we got to park our car permanently there.
Yeah.
Give our bags. Actually, our room was ready, right?
Yeah, it was ready, but we did not take our bags out yet.
Okay.
It was funny because I went into the lobby and I was like, hey, do we have a room ready? If not, no big deal.
And it was really early because it was like probably 7:30. Yeah. No, probably like 7 when we got there.
Super early.
And our room was ready.
Super early. So he was like, actually, I do have a room if you don't care where it's at. And I was like, sure. And then we didn't even end up bringing our bags there. We hopped on the bus and then went to Magic Kingdom, which is our second park day.
Yes.
So we ended up going to Magic Kingdom. We're like, what do we rope drop?
And we were literally, we were the first bus out from our resort.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And, like, walking up to the, like, I guess, like, the turnstiles where you, like, you know, do your Magic Band thing, the entrance.
We're the first ones.
We are literally the first ones in our line.
Yeah, so we were like, cool, we can literally rope drop anything that's open right now.
Right.
So once they let us in, we kind of, we were taking some pictures before. We were going to go straight to Seven Dwarfs, but there was some picture taking that we had to do.
I had to stop and do a photo pass in front of the castle. And, we are literally, the first 10 people in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really want to, capitalize on this, so let's get a picture. And the guy, we were trying to be fast, and he was just being so silly and, was taking, he was like, all right, now, he, took a few, and then he was like, all right, now I'm going to have fun with it. And so he started taking, crazy shots. And then I asked him to take some on my phone, and he was like, absolutely. Uh-huh. And he started doing, he, flipped my phone upside down, he literally was,
Meanwhile, we're trying to rope drop Seven Dwarfs right now. I'm getting a little worked up, but not mad. I'm just like, oh my gosh, he's still taking pictures.
I thought it was
we just
hilarious.
wanted one picture in front of the castle, but he took her phone and then he was like, let me show you what an iPhone 13 can do or whatever. And I was like, so he started flipping it upside down and did all these other filters on it, and
Hundreds
I was like,
of people passing us.
Yeah, I was like, meanwhile, I'm like, peeking over my shoulder. I'm like, there was 100 people going to Seven Dwarfs right now, and we are missing it. And then I think he made a comment about us saying that the ride's going to be there all day or something like that. Y'all don't need to rush or whatever. And I was like, no, but we do, because I'm not going to wait in a 90-minute line for Seven Dwarfs.
But we did make it over. They hadn't, there was still a literal rope between, Fantasyland, because it wasn't 8:30 quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, maybe 2 rows back from that. So we were just, in front of so many people.
Oh my gosh. There was hundreds behind us.
By the time they let the rope down, hundreds of people behind us. So it was crazy. So we went, rope dropped 7 dwarves. That was amazing.
We did pretty good because we were like, I think the 3rd cart on 7 dwarves. We were the 3rd train to leave the station.
It was just that one. That's the earliest we had ever been to any rope drop. And it paid off really well because it was cool. It was hot waiting for 7 dwarves rope drop to happen. But then after that, we went to do Winnie the Pooh. We were just like, okay, we've kind of got
never done it.
Yeah, we got our big ticket attraction. Let's just chill. We didn't have multi-pass this day.
Dude, I'm not going to lie.
What?
Winnie might be a must-do.
Every time. It was so cute. I
loved it. It was great. I liked the Tigger part too, where you're just like jumping. I was like, this is a cool ride.
It is. It's really fun. And so we don't ever do that in the morning. Like we don't ever prioritize that. So it was just a fun morning to kind of like do some rides and I feel like that's a trend for this whole trip, honestly. It's just like hitting as much as you can. Do things different.
We were doing things differently too than we normally would.
Trying new things out, and just because of the heat too, like we did things differently, and it worked out really well. So, after that, I just posted on Instagram about us on the Main Street vehicles. That was just really, really cool. Truly like a magical moment.
That was cool.
And you could go check our Instagram out at Countdown to the Castle. Little plug there.
That's right.
And I posted the video, and it was just me and Joey on this Main Street vehicle, and our driver, he was amazing, a cast member.
Oh yeah,
let us take some pictures. Went all the way down to Main Street, and like hordes of people coming
He let me
through.
drive the car.
No. So after that, we had some Pinocchio's Village Halls for lunch. We both got flatbreads. You got the buffalo chicken flatbread, and it was very good.
Oh yeah.
So while we were there, on the bus ride over to Magic Kingdom this morning, we were just so happy to be there. And it's like 7:30 or 7:30, and we were talking, or we heard other people talking about Tiana's, and both of us just go,
yeah,
missed the boarding group virtual queue for that one.
It was like 7:09, and
all gone.
We were like, it's gone.
So at 1:00, he secured Tiana's for us pretty much immediately. Like we pretty much immediately went over and did that. And then
we actually no. Okay, so the last couple days, let me backtrack a little bit. The last couple days were hot, right? They were super hot. We did not anticipate it, like we said. So we started splitting up our days. On this day, we started splitting up our days a little bit.
We've never done this.
So before we got the Tiana's virtual queue, actually I secured it, and then we're like, let's go back to the resort. So typically on every day from here on out, we were going back to the resort around like 12, 12:30, 1:00. We would go chill for about 2 hours, recharge, and then come back.
Eat some lunch, recharge.
We did come back, and then we hit Tiana's Bayou adventure.
Got it. So after that, we did some more of like filler attractions. And this is kind of when the night, it was interesting. So fireworks were going to start happening. And I was like, I'm not worried about fireworks tonight. We have another Magic Kingdom night. Let's just go do some rides. Let's like ride. The goal was to ride Big Thunder during the fireworks. Well, Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, on the way to Big Thunder, we saw that Haunted Mansion posted a 25-minute wait. So we got in that line. We were like, cool, let's do Haunted Mansion. We'll go get Big Thunder. Then we'll head over to Pirates. We'll have a nice little like selection of rides at the end of the night with no waits. Because I think Big Thunder was posted at like a 15 or 20-minute wait too. So we get in the Haunted Mansion line at 25 minutes. And 25 minutes turned into like an hour and 10 minutes of waiting in Haunted Mansion. And it was just it sucked because we waited the 25 minutes. Yeah. But like
at that point we were like, we can't just get out of line now.
You can't get out of line now. Yeah. And then it was just a point where we were at in the line.
The fireworks were going off and like you couldn't even see them. I was like,
oh yeah.
That's a bit of a bummer.
The fireworks go off right behind Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
And at this point we are under the awning of where you enter into Haunted Mansion, like the Haunted Mansion.
For reference, like how strange the line was, because typically Disney doesn't make that big of errors in time estimations. Once we got to the front, like where they let you in for like the
double doors
room, they were letting like individual parties come through.
They would open the door for probably about 5 seconds, let like maybe 10 people go in.
No, like parties, like 5 people.
And it was
just really strange. And then it was fine. But
once we got into the ride, we both noticed that like they weren't filling up every buggy in there. Like there was like they were separating the buggies. There was like 5 buggies in between where like nobody was on it. Then they put someone in, and then they'd skip another 5, and then they put someone in. It was very weird, very weird. It was weird.
But after that, we still rode it, had a great time. I found my love for Haunted Mansion rekindled. I was wearing my Haunted Mansion shirt. I wasn't a nervous girly anymore. It was great. So after that, we went over to Big Thunder and had a really fun ride.
Oh, it's raining at this time too, by the way.
Is it? Oh, yeah, you're right.
It is raining. It started raining right before we got into the Haunted Mansion. And then we left, and it wasn't raining as hard, but it was still drizzling a little bit. So we got on Big Thunder. That was a grand old time.
We were at the very back. I think there was like one other like train or like a person with us, with us in the train.
Oh yeah, it was a walk on. There was nobody on either side.
Yeah, the sun was down. It was just Big Thunder at night is so fun.
Yeah, it was
and we
fun.
were just being I literally was terrified actually of being on there. I was like, this train is coming off the rails.
Yeah,
like literally, this is the wildest thing ever.
It's the wildest wide in the wilderness.
Wildest wide.
Wildest wide.
But yeah, so after that, we hit Pirates, and
then we left. Right at park closure.
Or maybe
just a little bit before, but pretty much right at park closure. So we hit up the buses. We're staying at All Star Sports. Very last bus stop.
Last one.
Like the literal last bus stop.
Yeah.
On the loop. So we get back there, and I'm telling you, we waited at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, we waited about 90 minutes for the bus.
Yeah, it was.
That's crazy.
It was.
And it was not
terror for real.
The line was not good. It wasn't an organized line. It was tough. And like after a full day of the party, you're just like, give me back to the resort.
You'll never believe who was in line. It was the cheerleading squad.
Plaguing our lives. So anyway, that kind of rounded out that day 3. Got back to the hotel, KO'd. We were so tired.
Oh yeah.
And then because
at this point, by the way, it was so hot, and we were like, we can't do this anymore. We actually ordered us some fans because everyone was walking around with these portable fans. We were like, we got to do it. So I ordered these fans, and then we ended up getting them at a later park date, but. It was
lifesavers.
Yeah, definitely lifesavers.
Just circulate. I just needed air circulation.
Oh yeah.
All right, so day 4.
Day 4. So we are moving from Disney. We're going off property again.
Yes.
But we're not staying off property. We're just driving off property. All right.
Yep. Going to the park down the road.
That's right. Halloween Horror Nights is where we are headed, and for this day, we actually slept in a little bit because we were like, the Halloween Horror Nights doesn't start till 5. They won't let you in till like 5.
Yeah, well, originally we thought we weren't going to get in until about 6:30. So.
Yeah, so we slept in a little bit. Then we went, ate some breakfast at the resort, and then we drove over to City Walk. We were like, let's just go chill at City Walk. And then we got there around 1 o'clock. So we're a little early. I mean, we got 6 hours before.
Most things are closed. And we didn't realize that before we went. But, like, I really want to go to Pat O'Brien's. I love Pat O'Brien's. It's like a dueling piano bar, just, like, good vibes. And Tajitos, they were all closed, and they didn't open until, like, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So we ate some lunch at NBC. We split a grilled chicken sandwich. We were, like, on a grilled chicken sandwich kick for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was just so hot to eat anything fried. But
I think we split that one.
Yeah, then we went to Voodoo Donuts. Got a really yummy donut there. The cookies and cream donut. That was delicious.
Dude, Voodoo Donuts, such good donuts. I love them.
It's a hit or miss for me. Sometimes they're dry. This time, so good.
Dude, that Oreo cookie was amazing.
Yeah, you were in heaven.
You went to the bathroom. My we split the donut. She went to the bathroom. Like my half was gone by the time. I said, "Here's your half." I was like, "Can I get some?"
He did.
But so now we're like, we got done at ABC and Voodoo at like 2:30, and we're like, oh my gosh, like what do we do? Because nothing's open. We didn't think that nothing would be open over there.
Yeah,
it's more of a nightlife kind of vibe over there. So now we're just kind of walking around and we're like contemplating. We're like, what do we do?
Yeah, because at the time we didn't have a Scream early or anything like that, and so we were just anticipating lining up about like 4:30 to get into HHN. We get down there and we're literally like, and like no one else is down there. So like
Not a
Like,
single person is
they
waiting
have,
over there.
barricades, and like we're literally just like
I was
on the barricade, just like, well.
Yeah, it was just us. I was expecting like a lot more people to be there,
Yeah,
ready to line up at the gate. I don't know if we were just too early or what, but they weren't, and we were like, well, we don't know what to do. So impulsively, we bought the Scream Early Pass.
Yes.
Which allows you to get into the park, I believe, at 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go into the park at 4 o'clock. The event doesn't start till 6. You can have 2 hours to ride some rides. So we ended up buying that. We went in, rode some rides. I think I rode Rip Ride, and I think that was the only ride I rode.
We rode Villain Con.
Oh, Villain Con, terrible ride. Don't do it.
Oh yeah, horrible.
It was absolutely the worst ride I've ever been on.
I know we had talked about in like the underrated, overrated for Universal, like, oh, standing's probably not that bad. It was the worst attraction
Dude,
I've ever been on.
I don't even know what I was doing.
Like no one had a single clue. It is just like
There's too many dots
like
on the screen.
10,000 explosions going on the TV.
You're like, I don't even know where I'm shooting.
It's like, think about Buzz, but 10 times as confusing and
Dude, yeah.
like chaotic.
It was bad.
And you're standing and my arm was getting tired because like, oh, this is a large gun that you have in your hand.
Yeah.
It was just.
And there's no instructions. I don't know who I'm supposed to be shooting.
Yeah,
Do we just shoot everything or what?
We got put on a conveyor belt and just went. There was absolutely
They said
no
step
like,
right here on this dot, and then you just start going, and you're like,
oh yeah, and
all
if
right.
you step off your dot, you get like tripped up. And
Yeah,
stuff.
because
But
like your dot starts turning before mine, and I get messed up.
it was crazy, but
yeah.
we rode a few rides. A lot of people use Scream Early to go ahead and get into the queues. So this year they only had 2 different Scream Early like corrals, I guess. That was the World Expo with like kind of the lesser houses, like the Universal IP, and then there was the front park in the New York with like Insidious and like Ghostbusters and Quiet Place. So like that one was crazy, and we initially had gotten in that corral.
Yes, we did.
And we were expecting to stay there, and just because we asked, you're like, I don't want to get into a corral and just be in a line because that kind of defeats the purpose, you know? It's like, I might as well have just waited.
Yeah.
But we went in, and like they were like, no, you can just go around to the food stands.
Yeah,
so,
it's
like,
not what I expected. Yeah, there's food stands available that you can
and they were all
enjoy,
open at the
and
time.
bars and stuff, so that was pretty cool.
We made the decision to get quote unquote Blinky cups. They were actually out of Blinky cups, but we got some of those. We got a Twisted Tater that wasn't very good, in my opinion. It was like
It was super dry and just like
super dry and
overcooked.
weird. Yeah.
But we stood there. We were in that crowd for probably about 25 minutes, and then we were like, listen, I think it'd be best if we go to a different scare zone and hit up the smaller houses, and then we'll just bite the bullet and wait in the Insidious line. Because really, out of the big ones, we only really wanted to see Insidious. Yeah. So we were like, all right, let's just go finish as much as we can. So we got out of that one, went down to, what was it called
World
again?
Expo.
World Expo.
And this is like where like Alcatraz, like Pier Alcatraz and stuff, like the Bruce, like, you know, the shark, and like on that pier is
which
where
I liked this corral zone a little bit better.
it was way less chaotic.
Yeah.
Way less, like ton less
I thought
people.
the whole, boardwalk type area was
really cool. It was really
at the
cool.
restaurant.
Yeah.
But over there, we kind of did just hop in the queue lines.
Yeah, it was very like we were like probably 5 parties from the front.
Yeah, so we were just standing there we probably stood in that one for almost an hour.
Yeah, but we got to sit down for like 40 minutes of that, and then they stood us up, kind of put us in the line, and then from there, we got to decide, okay, do we want to do Goblin's Feast or Eternal Bloodlines, or I think there was a third one too.
No, it was just
those two?
The third one was down the street a little bit.
Yeah, well, once the event started and we were going, you go back to like the past, like in like a.
This is probably almost a half-mile walk.
Yeah, it's
through
behind,
backstage.
Backstages, thank you. That's what I was trying to say. And it was literally Goblin's Feast and Eternal Bloodlines were the 2 houses literally right next to each other.
Side by side.
And we were like, which one do we choose? We chose Goblin's Feast.
Big
Everyone
mistake.
else chose Eternal Bloodlines.
Yeah. While we're walking through the Goblin's Feast line, we're like, yeah, we picked wrong.
Yeah.
So we went through Goblin's Feast. It wasn't the greatest.
Then, well, okay, so here's what I wanted to I enjoyed Halloween Horror Nights so much. It was so cool. I loved every single house that we went in. For Goblin's Feast, it was the first house we went in. I think that had something to do with why we didn't love it as much, because the theming was amazing. I thought inside the house, the outside of the house, it was all so well themed and a fun theme for me. I really enjoyed it. but it was just so short.
Yeah, it was super short.
It was
and I don't know if that's just because like we were like the only ones in the line.
Yeah,
almost.
there wasn't a ton of other people in the line.
There wasn't a lot of people walking through it at the time. Everyone was going to Eternal Bloodlines, but I mean, it was an okay house. I didn't really get scared. They were more just kind of like out and about walking around in there. There wasn't really anybody hiding, but
yeah, the scares weren't like as scary, but for the first one I was scared.
Yeah, they were just kind of being like foolish and what's it called, cavemanish goblins in there.
And then we went over to Eternal Bloodlines. Only waited probably like 10 minutes in that, maybe 15. It moved pretty fast. The express line, which we will get next year because we will be going back.
Highly recommend the express line.
But they obviously took priority, and then we went through. I loved Eternal Bloodlines. I thought it was such a fun IP. It's all women, and just like the set pieces of these two were just so impressive. I literally was walking through, and I was like, "This is crazy."
Yeah, Eternal Bloodlines was really good.
I wasn't even scared at all in Eternal Bloodlines. I think I was just so much enjoying like the theming of it and the, like the sets. And then I don't even know like the order in which
I remember. So we went down the road a little bit. It's past Men in Black. So you walk your half mile back out, and then we took a left out of there, went past Men in Black, and the next one was actually Slaughter Cinema, which was already sitting at like a 30-minute wait. So like these lines are starting to go up. So we waited in Slaughter Cinema. I don't think we waited 30 minutes. I think it was more like 15, maybe 10.
Yeah, the Scream Early, it really was for these first three houses that we did under 30 minutes, and that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So Slaughter Cinema, there was a whole lot going on in there.
There was a lot going on.
A lot of different theming in there. There's
which I enjoyed. A
whole rock section and all this other crazy stuff in there. And I was getting pretty scared in that one. That one was really good to me. Like I really enjoyed Slaughter Cinema. Definitely one of my top my top 3 when it comes to which ones I did that night. So we got done with Slaughter Cinema, and literally right when you come out, there is
the
Museum of Deadly Exhibits. That one was all right. It wasn't anything too crazy.
I literally just don't even remember it really that much.
I really don't remember that one. We just it was long. I mean, it was long for sure. So at this point, Goblin's Feast is probably the shortest, and then Eternal Bloodlines was the longest one we've done. Mm-hmm. Next to Slaughter Cinema. Museum was pretty it was like medium. And then I think we kind of just chilled for a little bit. We walked around.
We got
some scare
food.
zones.
Oh, yeah. The scare zones were cool, but it was still daylight at this time. And so we got the Ghostbusters corn dog, which was really good. The s'more, that was really good. At this point, we've had a few refills on our drinks.
Yeah.
And the drinks were so good. They were so good.
Oh, yeah.
And you get a double in these refills for like the price of a single. So it was just a really great deal. The atmosphere was so cool. We really did enjoy it.
So I think actually after the corn dog and the s'more, it was finally dark outside at that point. And so we started walking down like the New York area, not the New York area, kind of towards Harry Potter. We started walking down that way. There's a bunch of scare zones on the way because we wanted to go and see the
Death Eaters.
So we were walking down there, I was getting scared left and right. I have cool videos that
Joey was the best part of Halloween Horror Nights. He was so funny. He was like, you just gotta let go, just like get scared. Because I was going through the houses, and I was like pretty
she was just
stoic.
looking straight.
Yeah, because I was like moving my eyeballs but not my body to look at the set pieces, just because I was like, I just have to focus on not getting scared. And so I didn't I really didn't get scared that much, but he just like relaxed his body and got scared so much. It was so funny.
So we got over to Diagon Alley, saw the Death Eaters. That was really cool.
Really awesome.
We've never seen that. They do like this little pre-show on the little stage.
That was so well timed for us.
Yeah. They do a little pre-show on the stage, and then they all break away, and they just start walking around Diagon Alley. It's pretty cool. You got some down in Nocturne and just walking around everywhere. It was cool.
It was
also,
really
I got some cool videos of that.
He turned into like Mr. Media guy that night. It was great.
I got some really cool videos. You did. They were cool.
And
might have to show them.
We will. The scare actors played. Like, when they saw camera out, they really kind of played it up.
And, they were really cool about it.
It was fun. It was really great, yeah.
But after that, I think this is when we were like, all right, let's go wait in Insidious.
Yes, yeah.
So we walked back down to Insidious. I think that was about an hour wait.
It was about an hour. And it's truly switchbacks.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even...
That is the definition of switchback.
to like hide the fact. But honestly, it wasn't a bad wait. You know, we found some games. We played. We had our drink. We like refilled our drinks before we went back there. It wasn't a bad wait. That was the longest wait that we did the whole night. And it was fine. It really wasn't a big deal.
Insidious, man. I mean,
scary.
That one was scary. It was so well themed.
Yeah,
I thought
cool.
and these, so Insidious and Ghostbusters, I think Monstrous and Triplets of Terror are all actually in like live set.
Like sound stages.
Yeah, real stages back there. So they can do a lot.
They're huge.
That one was really cool. The Insidious was cool because you walk through the big red door, and then I think, was that the one with the house?
Through the window. No, that was Triplets.
Triplets, okay. Anyways, but yeah, Insidious was super well themed and pretty scary.
It was
say
pretty
so
scary.
Myself.
Yeah, I'd never even seen it and I was scared.
Yeah. So then I think we did Triplets of Terror after that, and that was the one with the house.
Yes.
Very well themed.
Which he
too.
means like you walked into a house and like they had the whole like house.
Yeah, they made it seem
up.
like you're going into a legit house.
It was really cool.
That one was very gross. Gory and bloody, and
there was a dead cat.
It wasn't like the best one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And we'll rank them here in just a minute. But the very last one we did was Monstrous, which I had a blast in. I know there's a lot of hate for Monstrous.
I know there is
not
a lot
like
of
hate, but just like disappointment. And I'm like, I thought that was great. I loved it. I got the most scared in there.
It was very scary, but I think I agree. It was disturbing. Like there was a lot, a lot of baby stuff.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Stuff. It was just creepy. To me, it was like step too far, but it was still like it was just creepy. So, but it was scary, and it was like very, very well done. Like
a lot of actors in there.
A lot of actors.
You better watch every corner because you're gonna get jump
so
scared.
scared. And like that one was kind of like we had told ourselves because we have a park day the next day.
We weren't gonna hit that one,
and we were gonna be like, let's get out of here by like 12. The event goes till 2, and like we got out at like 1:30 because like we were just having such a good time. Also, we ate at Mel's drive-in, which is called Die-In. We got some chicken tenders. It was cool to eat in there.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, we were like on our way out, and like we saw Monstrous was at such a like low weight, like 25. We were like, all right, let's just do it. We're not ready for it to be over. So. But yeah, so why don't we go ahead and rank them? You go ahead and rank your start from
I'm
the
gonna
bottom.
go from least favorite to best.
Okay,
in my opinion.
Go ahead.
Least favorite, Goblin's Feast. Wasn't my favorite at all. Didn't really get scared. Walked through it in like 20 seconds.
Okay.
It was okay. The theming was cool. Triplets of Terror is my next one. Also, didn't really get scared in that. There was a lot going on. Really couldn't focus. So that's gonna be my number 6 spot. My number 5 is going to be Museum of Deadly Exhibits because I really don't remember it at all, but I know it was better than Triplets of Terror and Goblin Feast. I don't remember it, but I know it was better. It was. I like the length of it. It was a pretty long one.
Yeah.
So that was our number 5. Number 4, I'm going to put Eternal Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4, great theming. It was a cool story. Like they were like pumping in the story in speakers while you were going through. It was really
it was cool. It was really cool. I couldn't pay attention.
Super
to
dope
that.
for that. Number 3, I'm going Slaughter Cinema. That one was just hectic and crazy and just scary. I loved it. I loved all the little scenes that it had. Number 2, I'm going Insidious because, I mean, the theming is just out of this world on that one. It's really cool to see a movie come to life within a haunted house.
Yeah, that's true. That is really true.
And then number 1, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate on this, but is Monstrous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Monstrous is my number 1 house of the night. Now, granted, we only did 7, so I think we missed
Ghostbusters,
and the Sweet
Quiet
Candy
Place,
Factory,
and the Mr. Sweet, which I heard was not good.
But number 1 for the ones we did do is Monstrous. I got scared the most out of that. Probably 10 plus times I jumped in the air. Both feet left the ground.
Yes.
My favorite part was definitely, so typically, you kind of anticipate at the end of a haunted house when you walk out of the exit, you're going to get scared again, right? No other house did this where there were actors standing outside of the house. On this one, like I walked through the tarps, I was chilling. I was like, cool, the house is over. This guy on stilts.
Like why?
Like
why
10-foot guy just in the corner.
Random.
Had no idea. I thought the house was over. Just bends down, gets in front of my face, and like I pretty much fell on the floor on that one.
And like I didn't see it, so I was like, Joey, just stop being so dramatic.
And that was the cherry on the top. I wish she would have seen it because she would have understood.
No,
but that
I
was
had
the
no
cherry
idea.
on the top. It sounded like an explosion went off too, so that terrified me. So that was cherry on the top. That made Monstrous my number one for Halloween Horror Nights.
That's so funny. I respect your rankings. So for me, my least favorite was Triplets of Terror. It was just I guess I don't love gore more than I thought that I didn't love gore, but I also just didn't like. I don't know. I just didn't relate to that. Like, well, I didn't relate to any of them, but it just wasn't my favorite. Museum of Deadly Exhibits was my next one because I literally couldn't tell you anything about that one. Next is Monstrous. The baby thing was weird for me. So, but it was scary for sure. And like the theming went, well throughout. Then Goblin's Feast. I hate that it was so short. For us, at least, but I thought everything else about it was really fun. I didn't get scared in a lot of the houses, so like that part didn't bother me because I didn't let myself get scared. Yeah. But then Insidious, then Slaughter Cinema, and then Eternal Bloodlines. Eternal Bloodlines and Slaughter Cinema were like very much interchangeable for me. Loved them both. So,
good
all right.
ranking. I like it.
And then we dipped out, went back to the hotel,
knocked out.
Oh my gosh, we were so tired. Yeah.
And then we're like. Day 5 rolls around. We're tired, man. We are tired. Yeah. But we have a lightning lane for Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is our third Disney park day.
Yes.
So that's good that we got lightning lane because it can slow us down a little bit. We're not really so go that we have to hit all these parks
we got
or all these attractions. So we can kind of just plan our day out. So I think our first lightning lane was Frozen.
Because we wanted to throw away. That was super early in the morning so that once we tapped in, it kind of got rid of the tier system for us, and it worked out well for us.
Little backstory on that, though, is because we had to switch it, so we had to go get these. Yeah. Because we got that extra park day, we had to switch all the fast passes around, and we lost all our good ones.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But yeah,
it ended up being really fun rope dropping Frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we literally got into the park and went straight to Frozen Sing-Along, and they literally were like, girl, Lightning Lane isn't even open right now. Like, they literally told us that, and I was like, can we just scan in?
It's a full show, though. Full show.
And it was just really fun, and it was hot, so it was like, this is the day that we were like, we had our fans, we were getting it, we were in the groove with the heat.
We had some airflow.
We hit a bunch of shows in the morning. Like we did Muppets, we did Frozen, we did, all kinds of things like that. Tons of filler attractions with AC.
Yep.
And then we went back to the hotel.
Yeah. We, like I said, we started splitting our days. So we went back to the hotel. I think we went pretty early this time. I think it was like 11:30 or 12. Chilled for about an hour or two. Came back. I think, did we do Frozen again?
We may have done Frozen again. At some point that day, I know we did Frozen again. Because we had such a good time the first time. And we were also like, it's so chilly in there. It was great.
And like I've been telling her, I think Frozen has a lot of rewatchability to it.
Yeah, it does.
Just because of the what are they called? The historians.
Yeah,
it's obviously not the same people every single time, so you're obviously going to get different jokes, different kind of banter between the two.
It was really good.
It's definitely really fun to watch. But I think so. We just came back. We hit like Beauty and the Beast. We hit a bunch of rides. I think we did Slinky at some point. Haunted Tower of Terror. And then we saw the Fantasmic show. We went to the first show.
It was kind of like last minute. We were originally going to go at the 9:30 one. And then we were like, well, I mean, let's just go ahead. Because then during the 9:30 one, we can hit rides. Because the park didn't close until 9. And we were like, let's try a new strategy where we wanted to stay after park closed by like
as late as possible.
Hit some shops, get in a line, whatever it was, because we were like, we can't wait in that 60-minute bus line anymore, and we figured that would help a lot with that. So, yeah, we got into the first showing of Fantasmic very last minute.
Yeah, and then, honestly, I don't think we actually rode a ride. We stood in line for some ice cream.
Got some ice cream that was delicious.
Got some ice cream. Chilled in the little courtyard area over there by, what's it called?
It's on Hollywood or Sunset Boulevard, yeah.
So we were sitting over there, just kind of hanging out, honestly.
Yeah.
And then I think we went on Mickey and Minnie's late at night just to kill some more time. And then after that, we left the park.
Yeah, one thing about the Fantasmic show, being that we usually suggest getting in line about like 30 minutes, 40 minutes before the show. I do still recommend that because when we went, it was like, literally were like, oh, like there's no like it's perfect. Yeah, it's because everybody was already in there. And we like all of the seating was taken, like literally all of it. So we were in overflow seating, which is like
way in the back,
behind like the walkway.
And they don't really raise the seats back there. They do a little bit, but not enough. So like, if you're short, sorry, you're not seeing it.
It was tough for a lot of it. Honestly was like we were fine. We had seen the show before. We got to see like all the top part going on. So like all the fireworks.
Couldn't see the boats.
Could not see the boats. No.
Could not see Sorcerer Mickey down on the rocks.
No.
You couldn't do
Moana,
that.
who couldn't see her either.
Couldn't see it.
So and it was a little less immersive because a ton of people were moving around on our seats, just like they were trying to find better seats and stuff. And also we could see like everybody walking, like on the on the pathway. So it was a great time for us. But just something to remember: do 30 minutes early. Yeah, and you'll be fine. Sure. But yeah, so we dipped out and it worked. Our theory worked. We had literally no bus wait. Got on the bus, went back to the hotel. Same rules apply.
Yep. So moving on to day 6. This is our 4th Disney park day. We are going back to Magic Kingdom. Yep. This is the last park day, and if I do say so myself, this was my favorite park day.
Yeah, this is good.
Out of the whole trip, and we contemplated what park we were going to do, and I'm happy that we did Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. We had such a good time at Studios that we contemplated doing that literally again, even if it was the like back to back. But Joey made a good point. He was like, we have multi-pass. There's just a ton of like smaller rides that we still have more to do at Magic, and so we ended up going with Magic.
So this one, we got to unpack this one. I mean, we got Lightning Lane, so we didn't rope drop as severe as we did the first day.
It wasn't as early.
We actually rope dropped Starbucks.
Oh yeah, this was amazing.
We went against our Joffreys, but it was good. We wanted Starbucks, so we went to Starbucks, got our little breakfast sandwiches, and we just kind of ate in front of the plaza and just chilled there. Then I think we went to Winnie the Pooh again. It's such a good ride. Had to ride it. So this morning I was ready, so I got Tiana's virtual queue. We were boarding group number 14,
which is early.
I think it's like the second boarding group that they call.
Yes,
and you are available to go. So we headed over there. We rode Tiana's, loved it. And then we had some fast passes for Haunted Mansion and Pirates, so we did those.
Yep.
I think we had another one for Big Thunder Mountain. Enjoyed Big Thunder Mountain. We're hitting a lot of stuff right now. Yeah. Like we're not even like halfway through the day. I think we finished off our first half of the day at Carousel of Progress. Yes. Haven't watched it in so long.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It was good.
AC, baby.
And I wouldn't say it was the best AC, but there was AC.
Yeah, well, you're not in the heat, so if anything, that's a win.
With your fan, it's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, we got so... Oh my gosh, we loved these fans so much, and they're like so compact, and they were so cheap. It was like $10 for 2, and they worked so well. And so like we would just be in the AC, and we're like still blowing because it would like blow cool air on you. So it's like we got to cool down every chance we can.
Oh yeah, so that was nice.
Yeah,
and so like we do the days before, we broke up our day, went back to the resort, ate some lunch there. I believe we got chicken tenders and fries. That was kind of our staple go-to for this trip. Chilled for a couple hours, came back. Marissa really wanted to ride the railroad, so we went on the railroad.
Yes.
We kind of rode it all over the place. I think we got off at
some of the characters.
We got off at Fantasyland and
went to Pete Silly Sideshow.
Yeah, we went to them.
we met Goofy and Donald, and they were fun. They were really fun.
That was a good time. Marissa had a blast with that. I don't know how to act in front of characters.
You did good though with Goofy. Like he was the motorcycle stuntman, and like it's like Crash, and like you made a few jokes with him with that. So it was good.
I think I told him it was his trophy. It was his third trophy or something because he had 2 or something.
But we got back on the railroad, did a full circle, got back off on in Frontierland, I think.
Yeah.
And by that time we got off at the Main Street one because got a little snack at Corn Dog Nuggies, which I've never had before.
It's just mini corn dogs.
And they're just mini corn dogs. Wasn't that impressive. We got the little fake cheese, but it was still cool, fun, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then we went over, did the new Country Bear musical. Yeah. That was super cute. I think we enjoyed it.
It was good. I'd watch it again.
Yeah, I agree. The crowd was interactive, and it was fun. They made it really fun. At some point in this like afternoon, we went over to Gaston's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Disappointment, because I've been talking about this.
He had been wanting it. We had made them at home a few times. I think it's on our Instagram. Like, we've made them. And they turned out way better than this one was.
I just think we went at a bad time.
I don't know. It was mid-afternoon, but it was just so dry.
There's probably better times to go. Yeah, dude, we got this thing, and there was, like, no center filling at all.
None.
Like, no cinnamon. It was super dry. I mean, it was almost, it was stale. It was almost stale.
It was stale. It was literally stale. We even got extra icing to, like, kind of, like, tame it a little bit, and, like, it literally could not even help a little bit.
It was a huge disappointment.
It was tough.
Super unhappy about that.
Yeah.
But I think we just kind of, like, chilled out a lot of the back half of the day, and then we were, like, trying to find a spot for fireworks for the Happily Ever After show, but we were like, we don't really... We can pass on watching the show on the castle because we want to do some rides. Like, we want to get some rides. I think we planned some fast passes later in the night. So,
and it turned out that Main Street got to capacity for the show, and so, like, I'm like, honestly, I've done that before during Christmas. That's a lot to deal with. We didn't want to deal with all that. So I actually went on TikTok to find, like, some different spots that we've never seen the fireworks from before. I had known Fantasyland was a good spot. I was thinking about doing that, like, near, like, the Pete Silly Sideshow and Storybook Circus, but then I saw someone say that the Frontier Bridge was a great spot, and that is where we ended up watching the fireworks, and it was amazing. You can see, like, so if you don't know, the Magic Kingdom fireworks have multiple spots where they, let go of fire, or, like, I don't know, ignite fireworks, like fire them off. And behind Fantasyland is one, but then there's also some, like, to the sides, and so you could see, like, the side ones and the ones, like, right behind the castle. It was just amazing. You could still see, like, some of the projections, like the top half, hear everything really well. There was, like, nobody around us.
Yeah. No.
And
there was maybe, like, 8 other couples just kind of chilling around.
It was great.
But we actually picked the Frontier area because right before that, I actually got a lightning lane for Tiana's at night.
It's literally, it was insane because, like, it was at, like, 8. And he was, like, messing with it and refreshing it and trying to modify. And, like, you just saw one for, like right after fireworks happened.
I think it's because the line is so dead at night that when you start refreshing at night, they might drop a little bit more. People are watching the show and they don't want to go to Tiana, so they drop it or they cancel it, and then slots become available. Yeah. Because it's literally a walk-on.
It literally was a walk-on. Like, once we did it, I mean, we wouldn't have been able to ride it any other way. We had to have gotten the lightning lane because you can't get a virtual queue twice. We tried. You can't do that, and so you would have had to get the lightning lane. So you finally got one. And, we walked through, and, like, both the virtual queue and lightning lane literally was no line. Oh, yeah.
So we actually went off on some Genie. Not Genie.
No, just, like, in general.
Single pass. So we were, like, we got done with the fireworks. We went to Tiana's. Then we started booking, like, Peter Pan. We had Little Mermaid.
All
these rides. Like, we were getting... everything over there, like, in New Fantasy.
Because Magic Kingdom was open till 11, and the fireworks were at, like, 9. So it was still busy until about, like, 10. But, oh, my goodness. After 10, it was, like, literally an empty park.
I think we just, like, we literally hit the whole park.
Yeah,
like,
we literally did.
We went from Tiana's. Then we went...
from Frontierland.
to Frontierland. Back to New Fantasyland. We weren't going to wait in Haunted Mansion again because we don't believe that anymore. We started hitting every single ride over there. Peter Pan, It's a Small World. We went back to Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid was a walk-on, even though we had a lightning lane. It was kind of awkward.
Barnstormer was really fun. We were on the very front of it.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, that was a ton of fun.
Yeah, so we went from Little Mermaid to Barnstormer. Great ride. Loved it. Didn't know it was that hectic.
It was crazy.
I thought that we were going to come off the rails.
It used to be, before Tron, the fastest ride in Magic Kingdom.
Really?
Is that not crazy? Yeah.
I mean, I can believe it.
It
feels fast.
Especially with our weight in the front. And there was, like, nobody behind us on the train, so it was like, or the plane, so it was getting crazy.
Yeah. So I think we went to Tomorrowland Speedway after that. So we rode some cars. That was fun. Marissa was in the passenger. She didn't want to drive her own car for some reason. So I had to get a passenger. So we did that, and then we finished off with People Mover.
That was a great
we were
move.
like the last group to get on People Mover.
Yeah.
And then the park shut down, and then we all made our way out.
We, went through the Emporium, kind of did the same thing where after 11, we kind of stuck around just a little bit just hung around, went shopping, things like that, to kind of let everybody flush through. And it worked again. Like the first time we were at Magic Kingdom, we waited 60 minutes, and there was basically like
nobody.
Nobody in line by the time we got there. So
pretty much, put it this way: we got a seat on the bus. We got to sit down.
We had to sit down on the bus and like not wait for the second bus to do that.
Yeah.
So it was just, that's definitely, if I would have said like the top things that I took from this trip, it was, I loved the middle of the day park or resort time that we had, because I could make it till close, but I'm not going to be as charged to like go. And that gave me the opportunity to do that. So it was just really great, smart to do that, especially in the heat.
Same.
Yeah. And so the other thing is, do filler. Like, I feel like we skip filler so often and like focus on the big stuff, but like we really did a ton of like the smaller stuff, and it really, really enriched our trip.
Yeah, I didn't even mention we did Hall of Presidents too. Actually.
Yeah, we did Hall of Presidents. I used that to take a nap. That was the first day.
Yeah, she took a nap. I thought it was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, no, it was. It is
it.
a good one, but I did nap in that one. Sorry. But yeah, so definitely bring some fans.
Yeah, if you're going during a warmer month, bring some fans, because you're gonna need it. It's
definitely
a game changer. Maybe bring a frog tog. What are they called?
Yeah, like the cooling towels. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, like in the morning, hit some shows. Just do some shows. Go back to the resort. Come back. And just then like that afternoon, evening is so nice. You can enjoy it and kind of be out and not worry about it.
I know you might not, because like I was the same way. I don't know if any of y'all feel like this, but like leaving and coming back, you're losing so much time. But honestly, getting back at the park at 3:00, you're not really losing that much time.
No.
Like there's still so much time in the day if you just go take a 2-hour break from the park.
Yeah, like
from 3 to 11 at Magic Kingdom.
That's what I'm saying. Like even in Hollywood Studios, it was at 9.
It's a whole nother day.
And it felt like 2 different days, and each segment of the day, I just felt so like ready to go and excited. Like it was also like when we came back, it was like, we get to go back in the parks again. Like it was just very exciting. So we would have never, you especially, I did not think you'd be on board with that, but it turned out to be good. So yeah,
typically
overall,
I'm not. So.
Yeah, we'll see if that sticks. But yeah, it was an amazing trip. Spontaneous.
Loved it.
And worked out really well for us. And yeah, so learned some new things.
That's right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. This was just a little recap. Maybe not little. This was a big.
This is a long episode. Yeah.
Long episode.
If you guys have made it this far, good for you, and thank you. So.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Please follow us at all our socials at Countdown to the Castle. So, like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And until next time,
let the countdown begin.